guys. Earlier on, I mentioned a productivity tool that I used, and now I'll just like to talk about a book that has really been a blessing to me. In 2015, I'm not sure the month, I was reading Valerie's blog, and then she wrote a book called The Finishing School, and I decided to send her an email, and I got a few copies for the ladies at Pinky Promise. Why I love The Finishing School is because just like an etiquette school, it takes care of different areas of your life. Because the truth is, some Christians are not spiritually prepared for certain things that happen to them. Because we go to church from a very early age, we do not pay attention to certain things. So this finishing school has 24 chapters, and over the next couple of weeks, I'll be doing a focus on one chapter a week, and I'll do a video and I'll let you know. The first chapter talked about orientation, the next talked on Bible study and prayer. Then we talked about Bible study and about setting goals, distraction. There were so many amazing things about this book. But I'll tell you what I love most about it. Chapter 2, from warrior to warrior. So from someone that worries to a warrior that fights. And it's about a guide to prayer. And the truth is, we need to realize that sometimes we do not need to go through the stress we go through. Because if you listen to this hymn that says, what a friend we have in Jesus, it said, all because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. We actually can carry everything, and He actually wants us to carry everything to Him in prayer. But why don't we do that? I think we will get into less trouble if we prayed more and worried less. And that's what this chapter taught me. It also made me realize something about prayer that I must have ignored. She said, there are certain things that happen when I pray. Our heart is changed, our perspective changes, and our circumstances change. So we should make a commitment to pray. Make a commitment to pray. Be disciplined. Set a time aside for you to focus on praying. And in the next couple of months, I'll be focusing on prayer and sharing my perspective and my journey on prayer. I decided to focus on prayer for the blog because I realized that I needed to spend more time praying, and sometimes I do struggle with it like almost every other person. But if we use the Lord's Prayer as our yardstick, which Valerie did, then we can make something amazing of our prayer life. So she said there are 4 parts of the Lord's Prayer that we should take into consideration: the adoration, the confession, supplication, and thanksgiving. Sometimes we miss all this. All we do is confess or ask for supplication. But how many times do we come before God and really adore Him for who He is and know what He has given us yet? Even if we have sinned, why don't we confess and tell Him what we've done wrong? Supplication. That's amazing to realize that God does want to hear our requests. And the last part is thanksgiving. Giving God thanks for what He has done and what He's yet to do in our lives. So thank you so much for joining me. This is an introduction to the book club that I'm starting on YouTube. I'll be reviewing books that I have read. Yes, I've read quite a few books that I have to review, but I won't be able to go into all of them now. And I'll be sharing my own opinion with you. So if you have a book that you want to recommend for me, why don't you get it? And I'm recommending my own book. If you could take anything for this Christmas as a gift to any woman, young, old, rich, poor, it should be The Finishing School. Because like I said, like a finishing school, like an etiquette school, is like a spiritual etiquette school. Thank you.